Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 483. Oh my gosh, we've been going for a minute now. We are actually sending a quick invite over to Tree City West. Saw a message from him. Maybe he can come join, and we can see what's going on. But yeah, how are you guys doing tonight? Today is a great day, right? I don't know what you've been up to, but there has been a lot of cool stuff going on, and we've gotten to see some fun things. So we are going to just send this message real quick. Yeah. Come join. Let's yeah, so Tree City West, if you're still watching the video, I just DM'd you the link to come join me up on stage, because why not, man? Instead of watching the video, come join, because we're going to talk Degen stuff. So we might as well talk Degen stuff and have some fun with it, right? But first off, I really just want to, we got to close down Discord. There's so much going on in the background. Discord had a fun day today. If you guys saw that, Discord had some server slowdown. So I'm sure that was not fun for a lot of people, worried about what was going on. A bunch of worries about what's going on there. So, but no, I want to shout out to Tree City West for joining us today. There's just amazing people out there. He does some awesome content. So I guess I'm going to eventually have to work hard to get him on the show. And share this post with anyone. All right. So, no, I don't want to check out. All right. So instead of getting distracted, we're going to cover what we're going to cover. But first off, I want to do a quick shout out to everyone and thank you for joining us. Twitter, YouTube, 0xDegens, YouTube Player One Taco, Twitch, Discord, Telegram, Rumble, Kick, and all our family over on Unlonely. Looking at possibly, doing some cool stuff, streaming onto Live Peer as well. So really trying to push a couple different ways to get out information to as many people as possible. So, this is it's a good time. So, I got to send a taco. Where's the taco emoji? I don't want the heart. I want the taco emoji. That's right. So what we were going to show today, BONK is on everyone's, tip of everyone's tongue. Why is BONK on everyone's tip of their tongue? Meme coin season is here. Dog with hat, I am looking at BONK right now that million BONK. Okay. BONK's down a little bit. So, but it is still super high. Really interesting to see how that's changed around. And happy too. So we see some really cool things coming about as BONK got listed on Coinbase. I told you all this last week ago. Yeah, now we're watching Tree City West probably give us some sort of excuse of why he can't join us. I will be upset for 30 seconds if he can't join us. If this is an excuse. If this is not a good excuse, I'm going to read it live on the air. Man. All right. But what I talked about is 3 protocols that going to use and go over today that we use in the Solana ecosystem for having fun trading shitcoins. And right now, actually, there's a 10 million swap to Samo for a chance to win part of a 10 million Samo prize pool on Jupiter. So there's some cool stuff there. No shape currently. Just left the. All right. Yes, I am free Sunday afternoon. I have a meeting at 2 p.m. I think. And so yeah, Sunday we're gonna do TacoBytes, and we're gonna help celebrate Tree City West's 100th episode. So we're gonna let's go find his where's Tree City West's Twitter? All right, so here it is. Now we're gonna be posting this out. Go follow. Boom. Tree City West Sunday. It's gonna be his 100th episode of doing a space. Congrats. I remember how hard it was to get to 100 myself. So tip of that. We actually have episode 500 coming up. That's a lot. That's really interesting. So I think he says just left the company Christmas party, so he's in no shape. Well, I think any shape is a good shape, and how much fun we could have depending on the shape you're in right now. That would be pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we are going to show you our trading platform pieces. So if you are in the Twitter space, we have the video going on. If you're on any of our platforms watching video, we will drop the 3 sites that we're using so that you can find them yourselves. And one thing I do have to do, so we are going to be going over Radium first. I forgot, because I'm on public Wi-Fi, I have to turn on my VPN. And for some reason, my VPN thinks I'm Dutch, because that is customary Wi-Fi security. Down there on our Twitter space, GMGM. So yeah, let's go see what's going on with Radium. Radium is one of our easiest pools that we love. One of our best exchanges within the Solana ecosystem. Radium, Orca, Jupiter, Fox Swap from the Federation of Foxes are really good. And I feel like I'm saying a ton of us. So I'm going to drink some water. And we're going to invite Tree City to speak. And we're going to talk shitcoins for a second, as we have important things to talk about on the 100th episode. So, yeah, you know, maybe we'll onboard some people into Solana as well and give away a ton of free NFTs. And who knows, maybe, you know, talk Zen and what's next in the Zen ecosystem or in the surrounding ecosystems around Zen, because there's a lot going on there. So yeah, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's right. I turned my Phantom off. So one of the things that I do in my security practices is by right-clicking on your wallet extensions, you can change how they read, so they're not automatically reading and connecting to sites, only when I click on the extension. So as you can see here, basically all of my wallets are like that. Backpack. And as you'll see, it's only when those icons are highlighted white that you know that they're not actually engaged. So they're not actually reading from the site. So you have to reload the page after clicking on them. These are just simple little security practices. Obviously, the big thing the other day was the script libraries for updating Ledger, 1inch, Sushi, and about 6 other protocols. And who knows how many protocols we don't know about. had their pull libraries where when connecting and checking for updates, that update was corrupted. But Wallet Guard and Join Fire would have told you exactly what was happening. So please, use Wallet Guard, use Join Fire, and they will let you know. They'll read the JSON file, basically the bit code that tells your wallet what to do, and it's your broadcast basically of your transaction, and it turns it into human readable script. What's coming into your wallet, what's going out of your wallet, how much, estimated cost. And so one of the really cool things, I know the Wallet Guard team, Michael K, he's a little bit of a funny man. One of the things that he does is he puts his money where his mouth is. He has a Bored Ape he's had since mint. And so now what he does is he will literally go to known phishing sites, phishing links, and connect his wallet. And he will click the transaction piece. What Wallet Guard does is it runs a simulated transaction first that you have to approve. So it tells you exactly what's happening. And it will say that this is going to send your ape out. So rather than do whatever it says it was supposed to do, like if it says, I'm sending you $1,000, just charging you gas. Well, in reality, it's trying to drain all of your NFTs and money out. So he actually goes and interacts with this to sort of prove and showcase how amazing Wallet Guard is. So I love Michael, and I think that's silly sometimes, but I also think it's really cool. It actually helped him win the part of the, what was it, Sink or Swim or Sink or Shark show or something like that. Basically, it was like a Web3 Shark Tank show that was done out and released. And so pretty cool with that. But I do know that demo actually amazed the MetaMask team directly, be so well that is why Wallet Guard was actually the first approved MetaMask snap. So if you want to interact with things that might not be EVM, you can install MetaMask snaps within MetaMask to I can interact with Solana with my MetaMask. I can interact with Tezos with my MetaMask. I can interact with Hedera, XRP with my MetaMask. But they are integrated within, and they were the first app and protocol integrated within MetaMask. So I don't know. Sometimes putting your money where your mouth is pays off. And in this case, it pays off. And the best thing for you and all other degens, it's completely free. So I think that's a really cool thing. They actually just did a airdrop NFT, I'm protected. And so it was a really cool little Nyan cat. Nyan cat? I'm not sure. But yeah, so like I said, we are going to roast Tree City West for today would have been his 98th episode. I don't know if he does daily. See, he might have been doing his show like once a week. So he's done it for 300 Sundays. 300 weeks, that's a long time. So, but his 100th episode. So super happy to see that happening. Boop. All right, so we are connecting our wallet across all of these pieces so we can sort of do some quick trades back and forth. A lot of times I will 100% recommend not doing this, because the reason why is you might be on different chains, something might be going back and forth, but so not necessarily best practice unless you've saved sites and you know where you're supposed to be, and you have a little bit oh my god, whiff. Degen hat is $12 million in volume in the last 24 hours. Oh my gosh. All right, we got to get into this pool, just because at that volume, the trading fee I'm getting 30% in 24-hour yield. So we have to get into that because we're a degen. We're gonna make a custom price range, and we're gonna go in one-sided. What's really cool with Orca is on their V3 liquidity pools, you can go in with one token and it will auto trade to your position. So right now our 24-hour yield is roughly 22%. We're going to be total degens, and we're going to bring this down to a trading window of about, we're going to go deep into this window, which allows for price movement. So as you can see within the screen, do we think the current price is going to go down or up? And you might think, well, why is he going to the negative side for the price to go up and the positive side for the price to go down? The reason why is, so how many tokens does WIF have to go up? Oh, there we go. How many tokens does WIF have to go up per soul? So if it is less tokens, that actually means, you know, if it cost me 1,000 WIF, and then later on it cost me 500 WIF to buy the same thing, obviously prices improved. And so we are a little bit feeling like a degen. So we're going to do a 10% window on each side. Let's bring that in just a hair. So 9% 1Y. The reason why I'm doing that is because at that 19 to 20% range on Orca, I know it gets us right there at that 20x leverage because we're in such a narrow range of price. And so we'll run this for a little bit, but this is 104% yield, you know, on trading fees within the next 24 hours. And it's had $12.5 million in trades so far in the last 24 hours. So yeah, we're gonna get into this for, you know, we'll get in for what, $10. That's what we're gonna go get in on this with, just to have some fun. How's your guys' Friday been? Are you at a Friday? I'm at a Friday. So I've gotten to, as this trade calculates and happens, amazing freaking news on my end. You know me, I grind, I work, I do a ton of work for a ton of projects. Right now I am working on, you know, doing some stuff for LBank and working with KOLs and marketing plans for North and South America for LBank. Helped out with Hot Coin Exchange, doing their North and South American plans and European marketing.
Yo.
Yo. All right. Screen away
this
for a
sounds
second.
messed up.
Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm slightly faded. It's about midnight here in Ohio. Coming home from the company Christmas party. It's the stereotypical company Christmas party.
Well, you look wonderful.
Yeah,
you don't
throw
look
on the
lost in the Matrix.
hat.
I love it. Wait, here's my good hat. XRP is not a security.
I love it. I love it.
That is an amazing Zen Crypto hat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, shout out to zencryptostore.com.
Zencryptostore.com. Heck yeah. What other swag have you gotten from the Zen Crypto Store?
Oh man, I have so much. It's actually the digital assets gear, the DAG. Very cool. They got the they have the fancy I was not prepared for this. But they have the bottle openers, the VMPX bottle openers.
Okay.
They have the fancy leather Zen Crypto coasters. These are so fancy.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The Zensei, that's his handle on Twitter. But the Zen Crypto Store, very cool.
Nice.
Man, this is so random. This is so very cool. I was listening to you talk about Solana, and BONK's going
Yeah,
crazy right now, right?
dude. So I've been talking like, oh man, I've been talking about BONK forever. I got airdrop BONK back in I remember when it went live, like December 26th or 27th is when I saw it, and it went live.
Yep.
It went live Christmas Day, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I should go get in on that. And like $10 would have been, I'd be amazing right now for $10.
Oh, I'm so guilty. I was in there early, and I think I turned $100 into $200 that first week, and I sold it all. And just looking back, it's like, oh, I was so happy I made a nice play. I'm actually pulling up my Trust wallet to see what I did. It's so
Hell
embarrassing.
yeah. It is a little bit embarrassing on how well we've done with a shitcoin like BONK,
Yep.
But it's one of the really cool things with it,
So what were you were talking about Radium? That was kind of I believe that was the DEX that I bought it on.
Yeah, Radium. Radium is Radium and Orca were the two dexes that I was doing LP pools on for it.
Gotcha.
Because I ended up getting airdrop BONK for one of the many NFT projects I'm in. Probably, I don't know, Squiggle Dick Butts or something like that. And I ended up getting some BONK, so I was like, hey, cool. I took 10% off as cash in my pocket, split the other half of what I got. I split it in half and put them into LP pools, and I was like, I got something for free. It could go to zero, but I already got I got profit already. Let's go support the ecosystem, And it was so crazy at the beginning of the year that it was just like every few hours I was having to change my positions and everything like that. So,
for me, I was never really into Solana DeFi like that. I had some Solana, and I just kind of had it, and that was obviously after the FTX thing. Solana basically collapsed. BONK was kind of that first little sign of life. It was like, oh, Solana might be back. BONK started pumping, and when BONK started pumping, Solana started pumping. I was like, okay, I might have to get some BONK. Man, I wish I held it.
Oh man, I paper-handed BONK so many times throughout the year. I'd get it, from doing something, and the saddest thing. I am so sad right now. I'm afraid to go look at how much it would be. I was supposed to be paid 26 billion BONK.
Sheesh.
Back in June. And back then
I'm not even sure what the prices are today. That sounds like a lot.
It's gone from 8 zeros to 4 zeros, I think.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to be bad. I'm going to be mean to myself.
I'm wondering if I left myself. I might have left myself a little bit. We'll have to go check real quick.
Heck yeah. All right, man, it is doing crazy things. That's the month.
Yeah. What was the catalyst? They got listed on Coinbase? Was that the big thing?
No, so the catalyst of Coinbase, I figured out it was getting listed on Coinbase last week. And that was before any of announcements, strictly through me being a Degen. I occasionally send different shit coins that are doing really good to my Coinbase wallets. And it got claimed by the Coinbase wallet, but not listed. So when it gets swept by the Coinbase wallet, it's an approved token.
Yeah.
So that is how I knew.
Yeah. You start building the bag at that point.
I should have, but I was like, meh. But there's still room for it to grow, because as soon as people get their Christmas checks, on Coinbase. You know, all the kids get their grandma checks and whatever. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to go buy this happy little dog on Coinbase. You know. So yeah, let's 26 billion. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 26 million. 1, 2, 3. That would be over $500,000.
Whew. Yep, that's a
That,
house.
oh my gosh.
I
That's a
know
few
it
houses.
hurts, right? I'm afraid to see what I had. I know I had a couple billion at one point. I'm hoping I saved a little bit. Maybe I have some dust in that wallet.
I hope you do too.
Yeah.
So then here's the question. If you have more than 1 million, you might qualify for the BONK miss.
Uh-oh.
The
What's
nice
this?
list. Okay, so you don't. Okay, I literally just went through the airdrop hunt on this the other day, so I know it all. I got the alpha for you and for everyone else. And tell everyone who you are.
Yeah, my name is Tree City West. I'm a big proponent of the Zen ecosystem. I love what's happening over in Zen. You can definitely come check out hashhead.io. It's a little website I built. It's basically a tool. If you're a miner of Zen blocks, you can check out your mining statistics. But yeah, I do a live stream every day, 7 p.m. But I appreciate it. Yeah, this is so random. I was not prepared for this. I consider myself
Hashhead.io.
more of a hashhead.io. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
It's very
there we go.
basic. It's a very basic site. It's
Simple.
a basic. Yeah. You basically pop in your wallet address. You can check out your mining statistics. We're building a little block explorer. I'm also working on Zen Maps, which is going to be the first project on X1. It's basically the bitmaps of X1 or the Zenium project. But
Okay.
man,
Nice.
I can get deep. There's
Yeah,
so much to talk about.
the,
I'm here to talk
I
about Solana. I want to learn about Solana. I understand. So you're a big Solana head, right? Like that is that
I
your
yeah.
native chain?
No, I'm chain agnostic. It's just one of those things to where the technology on Solana and what can be done in the account function of individual token accounts is just so cool. And the technology piece on it's just like you could turn because you can write programs to each token, you could technically turn a token into its own AI. And it would use the
I'm not
chain.
familiar. That's so cool. So when I think of Solana, I think about when I think of blockchain, proof of work, proof of stake. Solana's proof of time. Like, isn't that
Proof
what
of history.
proof of history? Yeah, yeah. So
Proof of history, proof of stake. So how does AWS keep track of every command line and machine call? Every server has its own atomic clock. So it will then correlate each piece to time stamped, basically, and it will run in order of timestamp. Now, the same thing can be sort of done with where Solana is almost is a proof of stake and proof of work or proof of history, you know.
yep.
And they call it a pulse, and so think of it like a heartbeat. Everyone has the same, or they're going every node is going by the same drum beat,
Yeah.
and when the transactions are compared, they know exactly where in the drum beat they happened, and so they can line up order of completion, order of execution that way. But what's
That's
crazy,
interesting. Yeah, I never thought about it that way. That's an
yeah.
interesting way to put it, for sure.
So they're taking classic Web 2 infrastructure type of thing and putting it on and that speed on blockchain. So thinking and then looking at it this way, Fire Dancer just got launched on testnet. It got announced. It's been on testnet for a while, but it got announced that it was live on testnet to the public at Solana Breakpoint back in.
Sure. I'm not even sure. So what is Fire Dancer? I know it's an upgrade. Yeah,
it's an upgrade. It's on the consensus mechanism language. So right now, consensus, the way consensus is done, it's done in Rust.
Yeah.
But consensus can be written in multiple different languages. And so part of the aspect of decentralization is running the same consensus model, but in different languages for more security. So this is being done, but not only that, but if you think of a graph real quick, squares, all right?
Sure.
Now, the different languages and different nodes is more scalability. So how many transactions can happen per second by more validators and nodes online, and that line will go up. And so if every tile is 1 million transactions per second, the more tiles that are added shows the scalability of how many more transactions can come online as needed. So people are like, well, why do you need 5 million transactions per second? And that's both on execution and settlement, finality. You know?
It's interesting. It's interesting to think about that. You know, a lot of times people talk about how quick Solana is and how it's like the false messages. But yeah, I never really thought about it like a beat kind of, you know, finding your place in the beat with the different transactions. I love how we're talking about network consensus and we have the BONK's nice list on the screen.
Yeah. What's funny is so the one thing, yes, a ton of spam happens on chain, but that happens on any chain. On the internet, I think it's like 60% or 62% of all internet traffic is actually just indexers indexing what other indexers have indexed, you know?
Yeah.
But some of the stuff to where like CNFTs, compressed NFTs, where the data is like storage on demand. So it's in solid state. It's there in your wallet. The path of proof is only called up when it's needed. Other than that, it's not needed. So why forward that information if it has the immutable map on it for proof? So it's doing a different turn of like ZK, but like I can airdrop 10,000 NFTs for 1 SOL. Back in Christmas time last year, 1 SOL was $8. You know, now it's I think like 75, but you know, still $75. I can send out 10,000 NFTs.
That's amazing. It's so cool. I really don't know the tech behind it. I hear the buzzwords, you know, the proof of history and how fast it is, and they also have the stigma of, you know, the restart chain. It's got there's too many transactions. It's getting flooded. We got to restart the chain. But obviously, it's really showing its resilience at this point in the market. You know, a lot of people left Solana for dead. Like when you said a year ago it was $8, that was after the $250 all-time high. You know, the whole thing. It's really cool to see it bounce back like this and coming in. It's like Solana found a new life out of nowhere. It's really awesome.
It seemed to have a little bit of a kickoff when SBF got found guilty.
Yeah.
And I spent 5 like, and what's hilarious is Solana Breakpoint was happening again at that time. A year prior, Solana Breakpoint was happening. Day 2 was when all the FTX stuff came out. And, you know, day 2 of Solana Breakpoint, SBF. So it's sort of like, you know, vindication in a way. The degens will be degens, you know, and FTT pumped as well when he got found guilty. And then Gary said, oh, FTX 2.0. And so what did people do? They went and bought more FTT. So it went from like $1.25. Now it's at like $4.80.
Man, is that not the most scummiest thing in the earth? Gary Gensler talking about FTX 2.0. I remember that. That's just but yeah. It really shows that Solana is kind of a unique thing. It wasn't just the VC pump that a lot of people were saying it was, propped up by FTX. It does have a unique technology, and it's really showing that now.
Yeah, and you got to remember, it all breaks down into WASM, so it makes it really easy for other programs to run on top of it or run in it. I got brought on by a new project, Sweeper Finance, and not sexy DeFi, like 400% yield, stable dollar yield, 7% money market, treasuries on chain, securities on chain, and saving banks,
Yeah.
So
sounds scary.
Well, to be in competition of USDT and DAI, And
Sure.
what's really crazy is the US doesn't allow any company in the US to tokenize treasuries, but they let foreign companies tokenize US treasuries and sell them.
Yeah.
The US
I wasn't aware of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah, and
because tokenization is really the future. You need a chain fast enough to support that, but I wasn't aware of that. That's kind of news to me. That's interesting.
And not necessarily fast enough because but interoperable enough, because there might be securities that are attracted to another chain. So we're partnered with Layer 0, and so we're using their interoperable program. So our token is live on right now 5 chains, and we're working out on that piece and working on some cool stuff. So there's some cool stuff in the works with it. It's stable. It stables, AMM, arbitrage of stables between chains, for that yield aggregation.
What's it called again? Say it again. I missed it.
Sweeper.
The Sweeper
Finance. Yeah. Boom.
I'm sorry if I just come on here and completely derail the. I want to learn about this. Is very cool. I love this.
So there we go.
For DeFi.
Yeah. And what's really cool is some of the projects that I've gotten to interact with when, I'm not talking about shit coins, I'm not talking about regulation, but now that I'm talking about digital assets and, that type of thing, and the banking side and banking the bankless, got to randomly meet a really cool project, Arch Finance out of Chile. They only have about 3,000 customers right now banking through their app, because they offer traditional banking and blockchain products. What they use Curve, so they're doing like 2.3% interest.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at, we might implement with them so that they're giving base 5% interest. Through Balancer and stuff like that. So
that's interesting. So you mentioned Chile. I'm not sure what money do they use there? I don't mean to sound ignorant, but do they use the US dollar there, or is it like a?
Yeah, so they use dollar. Chile has its own currency. I think it's called, the peso. What is, no, they don't use.
I guess what I'm getting at is crypto a big part of their daily life. Yeah.
So it's a Chilean peso.
Gotcha.
So one Chilean peso equals 1/10 of a cent.
Gotcha.
And that's their inflation. Like, you can see how much their money fluctuates in the last month. That's how much their money changes in a month. They're stable. National
Wow.
currency. You know,
Yeah.
that. So blockchain brings, and so they say that, their customers are putting, $3 to $5 away per month. So they only have about $1 million TVL from their customers, because that's what they can afford, but then they're able to bank, they're able to pay for things directly in the app, and so I think and it's not just Chile, they're in Argentina and Brazil, they're in LATAM, Latin America. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of cool stuff down there,
That's amazing. It's really cool to see the actual use case, people using crypto in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
It's always it's a tough story to see, but it's also kind of like, it's nice to see that people are finding that salvation from from the fluctuating dollar like that. That's just amazing.
Yeah, and everyone talks about, like, we're literally talking about BONK. I was talking with a CoinDesk reporter last night, who he was like, "Are you in Wolf with Hat?" Or Dog with Hat, and I was like, "No, I know about it, yeah." And I was like, he's like, it's crazy, and this is CoinDesk, and they're like, well, and I was like, well, have you heard of Shark with Tits Ultra? And he's like, no, I have not. And so I sent him the meme of it, and that was not pretty. And
That's
I was like,
hilarious.
this is why we can't have good things sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. There's memes
You
for
know,
anything, honestly.
man,
Well,
and
hey,
it's
it's
just a
getting
fun.
late here. I just wanted to come on and say hi. I definitely want to extend the invite. So this weekend,
I would
the 100th episode.
I would love to
So
be on. What time?
so I'm planning. It's usually flexible on Sunday. Usually Simple Waters. Shout out to Simple Waters. He holds the Zen space on Sunday. It's usually around 3 p.m. Eastern. So right
Mhm.
after that, I typically do a follow up live stream, and it's just going to be off the cuff, just kind of hanging out, talking crypto. Hopefully, have some special guests. Definitely giving away some crypto, but just kind of a chill Sunday night, having fun.
All right.
So, yep,
I
it'll be over
I'll
on the Tree
come.
City West YouTube.
I would love to come. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we
for
give
sure.
out some taco tokens for those that
Oh,
have
of course,
Solana wallets?
definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm giving out some AVAX inscriptions. Probably give away a couple of NFTs. Yeah, if you want to give out some taco tokens, that sounds like a good time.
Let's give out some taco tokens.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. Well,
But
it's almost 12:30 here. I'm gonna go have a midnight snack and get some rest.
yeah. All right. And we will see you Sunday for 100th episode. Congrats. And yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, I'll shoot you a DM. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for having me. Yep. Shout out. Thank you, Taco.
Shout out to Tree City
Yep.
West. All
See
right.
you guys. Yep.
Um, bye, guys. Thank you so for those that are joining us in Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, we posted up Tree City West's his Twitter link. Please give him a follow for the algorithm. It's TreeCityWes. Great guy in the Zen ecosystem, and who knows? Maybe I might turn the table on him and interview him on his show and see how that goes. But as we can see here, will show off the bonk miss nice list. You can go check. A secret snapshot was taken on November 30th, and then they have another snapshot happening on December 18th, and then the final list snapshot is done on December 23rd. So what they have here is a huge list of what the different what's the word I'm thinking of? Missions can be, from staking bonk NFTs, exchange art, buying art with bonk, playing video games with bonk, interacting with bonk on a Saga device, which is the phone, which is really hilarious because right now, let's go see here. This is why all of a sudden the Solana, the Saga mobile phone went completely sold out. And that is because we're going to go back to CoinMarketCap and go check out BONK, because every Solana mobile phone comes with 30 million BONK. And so the phone is like $600. It used to be 1,000. Now it is 600. And there's codes all around. I think you could use Player One Taco for 10% off, and they let those things come stack. So it comes with 30 million BONK. So that is, what is that? That's 30,000. 1, 2, 3. So it comes with $753 worth of BONK. And so people are arbitraging their cell phones. They're buying the cell phone for the BONK. So they get a phone. Basically, they're getting paid $153 for a cell phone. And Solana Mobile has decentralized cell phone service through Helium. And Helium is unlimited, $20 a month. And you can pay in crypto. And there's two things. If you live in Miami, you actually can get it for $5 a month. You can then travel, like if you have an address registered in Miami, you get it for $5 a month. Anywhere else in the US, it's $20 a month. And if it's not in Helium's network, it rides on T-Mobile as its primary, secondary carrier. And then it moves, it open source. So it will then, if it's not a T-Mobile, then it will hop to AT&T and then Verizon. So pretty cool. You pretty much have service anywhere and everywhere. But yeah, a $600 cell phone gives you $755 in BONK. And then it gives you a whole bunch of other tokens and NFTs as well. I actually have one of the Solana Saga NFTs. So I could have gotten a Solana Saga for like 40% off or something like that, or 50% off. And I just never bought it. I don't know why. I now hate myself. They even gave a Claynosaur away, which, those things are now in that 60. Oh man, how much is a Clayno right now? We're going to go head over to Magic Eden and see how much a Clayno is. Where's Claynos? Oh, SPLs are making a comeback. That's really cool. Not Punk. So, but let's go find Clayno. So Claynos are now trading at 54 Sol is the floor. So you got $750 with worth of BONK, and you got a Clayno. So 54 times, let's just say 70, $3,780. So you are literally getting paid $4,400 for a phone and a phone. So just in 2 items there. That's sort of cool. I don't know anywhere else where you would have been paid $4,400 to get a phone. But look at how cute these Claynos are. They're just amazing. So yeah, some really cool stuff there within the Clayno ecosystem. We're actually going to go do our trades real quick. That's the only thing we got distracted on. And I don't even really say we got distracted. We had some fun. So this is our hot wallet that we do a lot of public trading on to showcase everything. And so we've been away from this for so long, we might actually have to refresh. Nope, there it is. So we'll go to our pools, and I think we are probably out of range. Yeah, we're out of range because it's gone up so much. So we can see here, we only have Solana now. We had originally put, I think, like $5 into this, with 20x leverage. So yeah, now we have $22 worth of SOL. So we put $2.50 on each side. Not bad. But we are still making trading fees. So not bad on that. Let's see here. What else? We're going to go look at our farms real quick as well, because we have some stake in farms. Farms are when you make LP and then projects want to push a little bit more incentives, so they'll make farms which will airdrop you more token, and that will give you, let's see here. Ooh, look. Let's see here if Wook can speak.
Hey, Taco, how's it going, man?
It is going well. How are you doing, man?
It's awesome, bro. It's really cool to watch you on the internet and talk to you. I'm over here taking dabs as you're hitting your vape. Friday night, we're drinking wine and degenning as well. I don't know how I stumbled onto your channel, but I'm glad I did. I like your style, bro.
Well, hey, thank you so much. It has been one heck of a style for a long time.
I do. I've been in the game for about like a year. I listen more than I speak on these spaces. I'm more of a lurker style.
Yeah.
Actually, I really listened for a whole year before I ever spoke on space. I really believe in the content economy. Like what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish here, cross-platform, informing people. Even us drunk degens by ourselves, just solo style at 11 o'clock Texas time.
Yeah.
And I respect it. I honestly think that like I have a whole other concept of what we're doing here with crypto and Web3, my thesis. But it's interesting to see how other people affect that. What you're doing and what the homie was on doing before. Like his interesting background. You guys are clearly making content talking about BONK and the news of the day. It's quite a grind, and the herd is coming. If you guys plant your feet steady in the river, you'll be able to gather some of that. Hopefully monetize this thing. Personally, I feel like just having let me ask you some questions. And I'm just on one bottle of Gary V Empathy wine over here. So, do you have a bunch of private chats, like your own little cabal action going on in the DMs, or do you mainly work solo?
Like when you say private cabal, like
you have a little squad that you work with, that you trust, that you guys talk about how you get your best APRs, APYs, where you're spreading your funds around, that kind of thing.
No, I actually really don't. I know of a bunch of those groups. I'm invited and put into them, a lot of them. But there's just so much noise that I rather work in personal chats, and I actually talk more about what I'm doing publicly, because if I'm willing to do it, I think the only private chat that and it's not even really a private chat. It's a Toronto traders group. So both S&P 500 traders, traditional traders, and crypto traders. And
are you from TradFi?
Not really, no. That was I traded some stuff just here and there for the heck of it. I think my biggest win was 2008 to 2009, 2009 to 2010. After the crash, Avis car rental dropped down to like 30 cents. And I bought a ton of it at 35 cents.
I fucking love that. And you know what my biggest win was? Me and my wife lived in an RV, and I really, when you live in an RV, you don't like to shower in your RV, so we used to use truck stops.
Yeah.
And I bought a shitload of TA.
Yeah, Travel America
truck stop.
Yep.
Right? Got bought out by BP, and we did our quickest flip ever of all time, and like put me on a trajectory of having a little extra capital. I mean, we're not big bags over here.
Yeah.
The Wook family of bags are very traditional and conservative, So I watch these other guys with these huge, with like, when BONK hit. I'll tell you my personal BONK story, right?
Yeah.
When BONK hit, it was the depths of the bear market, and I got me a quick $400.
Yeah.
I can't look back at BONK and think about the 150 racks that it was and feel sad about that.
Nope.
That was 400 free, real American dollars when we were getting ass effed.
Yep.
It was bad.
Yeah. So
I'm not in retrospect thinking, oh man, I lost on that trade. I still remember it positively, So like, yes, it came back around, and there's all kinds of reasons why it is, and I love the fact that people can explain that to me. But at the time, you were like, WTF BONK, and why is there $400 in my wallet? I'm claiming that.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I digress, bro.
No, I love it. Like, it's so I used to do the same thing. I airdrop hunted like crazy, and I talked about my airdrop hunting, what protocols I was doing. I was doing all of the coin market cap airdrops for $3 here, $5 there, showcasing the steps you had to do for those, and collected all of those, and then the LP pool hopping through cycle before last, and then this last cycle I got wrecked. I took profit. I made more money than I put in, but what I did is I put probably like 80% of my profits into Luna. And because I LP farmed, compounded, and I pushed things up into the next bigger pool, compound, push it into the next bigger pool, and then I rode Luna from like $5 all the way up into plus $100, and I was on an airplane with no Wi-Fi when Luna crashed. So it was.
Hey, bro,
yeah.
I respect it. I've been drained, right? So
yeah.
like, I downloaded some shit. I let a guy screen share with me. Basically, I did the full 80-year-old fucking. I got the hacker on my machine, and he got me good. And I'll tell you what, bro, there's nothing like it. It's like the opposite of dopamine.
Yeah.
Like serotonin.
Yeah.
Like it hits in a different way. And like I have nothing to say on it. Like Luna was a play that I was in as well, just smaller. I mean, I consider myself small, and I think that has benefited me well. Like
mm-hmm.
I started out with funds in FTX.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, again, talking about plays that were lost. Dude, I remember trying to click through on Moonbirds.
Yep.
Right? You had to have 2.5 ETH in your wallet. That was $7,000. It was like $7,700.
Mm-hmm.
That was a push for me, okay? Like a serious like rearrangement of my capital, like a kind of a stupid purchase, buying a truck that I didn't need kind of thing.
Yep.
And I tried to do it and like immediately was upset with myself because they jumped to like 25 ETH. It would have changed my life. It would have blah, 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 blah. Okay?
Yep.
Same thing with OK Bears, right? I was right in there, 7 or 8 or 9 Solana, ready to make a play.
Yep.
And they jammed to 250. And like, you know, I look at it all as lessons, you know, like even getting drained, right? It was definitely a lesson in my hubris and what I'm trying to accomplish here in the space.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and I know you're recording, bro, so I don't want to like get too personal or whatever, but like I feel like there's a major opportunity in like when we coordinate as a circle, whatever that is, like whether it's the NFTs you're buying into or whether the people you find yourself with in the space where like where it's entertainment over like I don't know. You're very educating here, and I appreciate that. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to come up and speak. But I feel like, you know, plotting and planning and being your own cabal is the play here. You know, like you and the homie talking about how you're making this 50% on this, on whatever you're doing right here on the screen.
Yeah.
You know, I want to learn. That's what brought me here. So I'm trying to learn this stuff. Like I try to stay quiet and learn, and like the success I've found has been in Sharky and Citrus, and now it's this. I don't want to drop too many names. I don't really care, but there's another one where it's an NFT fi, and I just loan against projects that I kind of fuck with. You know.
Yep.
Like, if I would have bought the project at that price, I'll loan against it at that price in a long position. But my bags aren't big, and I honestly try to maintain just, like, steady growth in whatever chain it is that I mess with, right? So every NFT, to me, is a long position on X chain, whether it's my OMB on BTC or whether it's Solana NFTs or ETH NFTs. It's because I want more of that chain eventually.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm fascinated to learn and to be in a position where like there's a little bit of capital to like drop on these on like what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, like I was tripping me out. You're getting 50% in a short period of time.
Yep.
By what's the bet against? It's like
so I'm not betting against. So what I'm doing is I'm making a narrow trading position. So right now I'm putting in 500,000 BONK and the opposite half of Sol, and I'm putting in a narrow price range. I'm actually doing 10% up in price and 9% down. So, and that's getting me a 4,000 APR over 24 hours. Now, if the price fluctuates out of that 9% one way or 10% the other way, I'm out of position. So that means I'll have all BONK or I'll have all Sol, and I won't be making any trading fees. It's just like a V3 on Uniswap.
Gotcha.
So concentrated liquidity, so concentrated position. So that's what that is doing. But what I was pulling up, you know, like where, oh man, this hurts right here. Portfolio value worth of NFTs is right now 88 Sol. Total cost 5,165 Sol. Yep.
My portfolio looks just like that, bro. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Maybe not 5,000, like, you know, a couple hundred to 100 and something. But you know, I honestly still again believe in it, or the reason it looks like that is because they got a bunch of mid rares, and they should be, you know, they should be a lot more if I played the game or whatever. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the chat here on YouTube, and just a correction on your phone thing.
Yeah.
It was the Call of Saga claim bars. Not quite 50, but they're like 30 soul or 25 soul.
Okay.
But same deal, right? Like you're just printing money by getting a phone that supports
you're getting a call. The call. Let's see, what is that? That's the call. So 22 soul right now. 22 souls at what? $70 right now? 75? $74. So that is just call that 22 times 74. That's $1,600 plus the $700 in BONK. So $2,328 is what you get paid.
It's a bigger story about how if you support this ecosystem as a whole from the gate, those people are up $2,000-$3,000. I mean, it's the same thing as we were discussing before. Like, I can't be mad at myself for taking my $400 worth of BONK at the time that it was happening. But the same thing is like the dude who held on to his Saga, his Call of Saga Clanosaur after the phone. You got your phone for $1,000. You have $1,000 NFT, not to mention the $800 in BONK and the added benefits of and you guys were talking about Fire Dancer. That's explosive.
Yep.
I mean, the idea that we're on a chain that could support the amount of volume Visa does.
Better than Visa.
Yeah, but just comparatively, just being on that level is, proof of the ability, right? I know I just made that word up, but that whole thing is massive. I was talking to Solana Chris about this on one of the spaces, but just like Coca-Cola, right? Remember, I don't know how old you are, bro, but I was in high school in the 90s, and we would go and run to the fucking the snack thing to get our Sprites, because you would untwist the top and get a basketball, or you'd get a free Sprite from the lady. You just turn in the cap that said you had won. Now, imagine what they can do, what a corporation like Coca-Cola can do, with the ability to give people scannable a product like that, right?
Yeah.
The real world assets, the points, it's fucking huge, right? And we're in a weird position where we're watching all this kind of stuff happening, and we're degenning, trying to rub our Solanas together to make more Solanas, but in reality, something that hits the mass market like that, whatever Coca-Cola could do across all of its bottles globally is the part that excites me, brings me to this, to the space. It's what drives my, my intrigue.
Yeah. Now, so all right, I'll I remember the Coca-Cola thing. I remember something older. I remember Tootsie Roll lollipops. Whenever you got the Tootsie Roll lollipop wrapper that had the Indian shooting the star on it, you could turn that in for another lollipop.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I'm a boomer. By the way, that was an informal thing, right?
Yeah. Not everyone did it.
The Tootsie Roll, that was a game you played with the vendor, with the retailer at the place, right? And they would play fun things if it was half cut, you didn't, that one don't count. It don't count as a full Indian.
Yep.
I mean, dude, all all of that ambiguity goes away when it comes to what we're doing here, right? Like, imagine twisting off a cap. There's a QR code that gives you a quick little CNFT, right? Something that has zero gas fees, that like starts a custody wallet for you somewhere else. Like, the amount of people that can be brought into this type of thing, just from a collectability standpoint, dude, they used to make fucking baseball cards for movies.
Yep.
Like Terminator 2000 had a whole series of baseball cards that are valueless. They are nothing, right?
Yep.
But at the time, everyone traded in them, you know, spread them around. Like, they're still sitting in people's collections all over the country, and like, someone still GAF about Terminator 2000 cards, and there's a possibility that it comes back full circle, and like, there's a seventh movie, and like, these cards become valuable again. The same type of thing is possible here, but like, Coca-Cola could shine light on different artists, and like, they could produce millions of NFTs for free that are associated with their product, their bottles, their whatever bullshit, and feature that artist. Then years later, those ones that you drank in the summer of 2026, oh, guess what? Those were by this artist, you know, blah blah blah, who actually is famous now, and they're worth something.
Yeah.
At the time, you just collected them because it's fun, and I think that's a lot of what's wrong with traders and degens. Is like, it ain't fun when you're trying to pay your rent, right? It's fun when they're like free or super low cost, or you're playing like a little silly game with it. I mean, dude, Taco, do you remember? I mean, obviously you're gonna remember this, but like, people walked off a cliff playing Pokemon Go.
Yep.
They were head-on collisions paying Pokemon Go in their fucking cars. Imagine if it was actually a $3 asset associated with that, you know.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah. It would be bad.
Yeah.
But no,
I'm sorry.
I remember
Rambling.
I remember Pokemon launched.
What other pools do you dive deep in?
What pools do I dive deep in here? I will show you the pools that I dive into, and I'll even show you the pool that I created. I even created a pool. That's one of the things I really like about Radium, is the fact that you could pay them 300 Ray, and you could create an ecosystem farm, and you could salt it basically with tokens to like drive interest. So I have a big affection towards Liberty Square, and so there's the Filth USDC pool. So I went and made a Filth USDC farm, and what's hilarious is how much BONK I've fed into this thing, giving it away over the last like 7 months. So
I love Liberty too, bro. They were like my first big play.
yeah.
Like, the big W's on Liberty. You know, honestly, like, man, I'm too many glasses of wine in right now, but my only problem with Liberty has been that, like, I really wanted to see a whole Rats of Nim meets, like, you know, DayZ.
Yeah.
I wanted them to, like, really produce that content. I wanted to learn and read a book about Liberty Square.
So then maybe you might not have seen this.
Apocalyptic future of these fucking squirrels. I feel like the noise of the space and the pressure that we're, you know, that we're all under to generate content, to be entertaining, to be like current, like is their problem, right? Like the noise fucked with Liberty out, you know, and like, yeah, I don't want to say too much, but like, yeah, I love Liberty, bro. They put my first W in the bag, and like, dude, from the $4,000 that I put in to
For squirrels?
not even squirrels. I mean all around, like what I put into Solana, and like I had in the time I had bought a house and I was like renovating that house. We were house hacking.
Yeah.
We lived in an RV on the driveway, and like we're drywalling during the day, and I was degenning at night. And like Liberty put my first my first W on the map, and like at the end of the learning about house flipping, I was short on my kitchen and I had to pull my cash, and I like barely missed the FTX thing to put money into my kitchen, and that like Liberty was
your kitchen,
like financial. It's just crazy to look at it like in retrospect, but Liberty was my finish line. And like I felt really shitty leaving at like 14 or 13 soul with Liberty, and in hindsight I was like, bro, like the gods were looking at me there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I held a shitload of filth. I had a full mixed bag of nuts, and like I followed them really closely. And like I said, I really wanted to learn about the post-apocalyptic. I think that like that was a big opportunity miss.
No, I'm gonna cut. I don't mean to cut you off, but okay. I want to give you 2 bits of alpha, or not even alpha, but I want to tell you. So first thing I wanted to ask you: are you in Drip already?
No.
Okay, I just DM'd you a Drip invite and Drip code, free NFTs like on the day, CNFTs.
Hell yeah.
So there's that, but then. What you're going to want to go to is, let me go find it. I just sent you the message, but let me go tell you the account to find is D-Reader. I think D-Read. That's not how you spell read.
I got my notepad here.
D-Reader? D-Reader app. Yep. So I just sent it to you as a message.
Gang.
It is an NFT comic book reader, basically. So you can get NFTs that are comic books, and it lets you read them. And Brian, Secret literally put out a tweet saying, I don't know about you, but maybe you should check out D-Reader.
No, thank you. I appreciate that big time, bro. Like no. I got Superman's Dead comic book right here at my feet right now. Like, I got Max and Spawn 1 through 20 right here. I'm that guy, like from way back.
All right.
Hey, do you fuck with ordinals much?
I've done some stuff. I have a few ordinals. What do I have? Most basically everything I have has been gifted to me. And let's see, Xverse.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out because your boy was talking about hash heads.
Yep.
I wanted to shout out hashlings.
Okay.
Because they're really cool stuff. Domestic, domestic mining of Bitcoin. I don't know if you follow them much, but very cool dudes. You own your own equipment. It's like in pre-sale or whitelist right now. I don't know exactly where they stand, but they're trying to they're waiting for the hash rates to drop enough for them to like put their NFTs on the art on chain. But it's worth looking into. I believe in them. I think they're cool people. Not a shill.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. Check it out for yourself.
Have you done any of the inscriptions on Solana?
So I'm slow to it, right? Like even the OMB that I'm rocking here on Twitter.
Yeah.
I watched I knew about ZK. I followed. I was early to Utes. I got a scholarship on the Utes thing.
Yeah.
ZK. It was very No, I'm slow to tech, bro. Just being real, right? It's like I'm not like a really tech forward person.
Yeah.
So like when it was spreadsheets and SharkFilmMonkey and that fool like doing their thing, I really didn't understand it, but I kind of like keep my distance and I listened. But then when it was a public thing and the mint happened and I saw it maturating, I knew that those dudes were all killers.
Yeah.
So that, you know, I think that's my talent, is watching the social aspects of Twitter evolve and the way that the ebbs and flows of, you know, the PFP game.
Yeah.
I saw those dudes as being like a bunch of savages, and it was like the best bet I've made in NFTs in 2 years.
Nice.
But
so it's funny you mentioned Shifu. I have mad love for him. When inscriptions launched on Solana, I was having some issues between the mint and the validator when it was a two-step process. SoulScribe and oh my gosh, not Metaplex, but something Flex. I forget the other protocol. Soloflex or Soulflex, something like that made the inscription protocols for easy mint pieces. It was a two-step process. You had to mint your inscription and then you had to validate it to make it unmutable. I was having an issue, and at like 3 o'clock in the morning, the day like not even inscriptions weren't even live for like 12 hours. I was talking to Shifu, and I was like, I'm having some major issues on this, you know, inscription file. And he's like, and I was like, can you call? And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning for me. It was like he'd been up for almost 24 hours, you know, dealing with all of this. And he helped me get my inscriptions out. So I launched Taco with a 0. They're on Magic Eden. They're on. I got approved by Magic Eden. Went through that process. Got them approved on Tensor. Worked with the Sniper team as well. Got them approved on Sniper. And I've done some cool stuff just for the holders and stuff like that so far. Just sending them shit coins that I have. Like I sent out BONK. You know.
Taco, I'm telling you, bro, that is it. Like what you just described with Shifu is like what I was feeling across a bunch of those characters.
Yeah.
Right? They're just savages who go way beyond what I'm willing or capable of. And like I had hella respect for it, you know?
Yeah.
On top of which, like, you know, I had just heard that like ZK was paying for drinks for Red and Blue Eyes to link up in different cities. Just like cool things, right? Like, what is it that brought us to NFTs, to this whole thing, was like, you know, the whole community. Like, what is Squad to you, right? Like, what are we out here doing? We're all trying to like figure this thing out. We're all trying to like ride these different waves. We're all trying to watch innovators and participate with these innovators. And like, for me, it's obvious, you know, that like people like you, bro, are out here fucking grinding. And, you know, again, not a shill for OMBs, right? But like anybody would be lucky to have you repping their PFPs across your fucking platforms, doing your grind, whatever that is, and like spreading the gospel. What are NFT projects if they're not like, you know, media companies, right? What do? We just create media. Like, we're all just a bunch of little circles on the internet playing with each other, right? Your avatar just happens to be like moving because you're doing a whole bunch of other steps to have a YouTube page, but like mine is just a shitty fucking hexagon. I'm over here verified by myself. You know?
I love it. So you'll find this funny. I'll tell. So you see my PFP. It was one of the first times I had won a trading competition on KuCoin. and like 2020 I think is when it was. And so they're called lumens, but they launched them on KCC chain, on KuCoin's chain. It was like the first NFT project. And so there's nothing there. It's completely dead. I own this NFT. And so I used Mantle, and I minted it out and bridged it onto ETH so I could then rock it officially on Ethereum. So it is a one of one. The rest of the collections on KCC's chain.
I personally, bro, I get it. I love your style, Pop.
Yeah.
Like you're a prime example of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Is that a project is like, dude, like youths would be fucking worthwhile to have you rocking a fucking youth across doing your. I don't know where you stand. I'm not trying to promote youths. I'm not even a youth. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? My point is. And like you can see, like I rock my Bodago on YouTube because why? Because I interact with those guys on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
Easy and Easy's Easy's awesome.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you're doing here is valuable. You may be just screaming into the darkness now, but in the future you're going to have a portfolio of great, hundreds of fucking shows, and like. You provide great intel and info, and hopefully people pick up on it and like flock to you. But my point in general is that like, what is NFTs, right? It's a country club for internet people who are out here like being internet people. You just happen to be an elite internet people that are going camera on, doing your like. I got a lot of respect for it, bro. I really did. Like people who show up to spaces every day, and people who fucking do the YouTube show, and like, dude, like real talk, like that's a grind, and you have to have a long-term vision and goal to even understand what you're doing here, because otherwise you're just kind of like just playing. Like fuck, dude. The reality of what's going to happen in the future is that like even X is showing that you'll be able to make money doing content, and you'll not only that, but you can compound that money by doing things that are like what you're doing here, degenning and spreading your bonk across different plays, and I'm rambling, I know, but for me, it's the whole purpose of being here is like to meet people, create and consume content that benefits me, that pushes forward, my agenda of learning this new technology and evolving myself personally. Like, and I work on that every day, and I commend you for, hosting this space and doing your thing, and spreading good information, like, and you're not like shilly, like it's all about doing things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I look at it. That's the only content I create is what and I'm not even like actually wouldn't even call myself a content creator. I'm a consumer. But what I put out there is only the shit that I'm doing. Like if I fuck with it, I'm going to show you my losses. I'm going to show you my wins, and
yeah,
bro. Maybe that's that one too many bottles of empathy wine here from our boy Gary V.
Hey, no, were you at VCon?
Dude, I wish. That's another one, man. Like I would have bought one of those a long time ago. I just didn't have any cash.
Yeah, no, I don't hold any V friends, but I missed VCon year before last because it was the same time that Permissionless was happening in Palm Beach, and VCon was going on, and so I was like, next year. And then this year, VCon happened at the same time as Bitcoin Miami, and I was like, well, I can choose. I'm like, everyone I know is going to Bitcoin Miami, and I knew a lot of people at VCon, but I'm like, if my normals that I know are at Bitcoin Miami, let me go be really uncomfortable and create content and interview and meet people. And so it was a blast of a time. So yeah, it was another experience. Yeah, I know you were talking about Utes list, man. I was in Vegas when Utes dropped, and I was sad because I'd had like I ended up like working up to like 500 dust, um, but I still hadn't been approved yet. I was still in consideration for the scholarship, you know. And I loved that, you know. I loved that the way it was being done. I thought that was really original, you know.
Dude, let me tell you my story, Taco.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. First of all, I'm so green to NFTs, and I just really wanted to be like accepted by any community, really.
Mm-hmm.
And when Frank announced the scholarship and said what it was, I was like, cool. And I immediately went and got dust because I saw that to be a deflationary thing, and that like the price was going to go up. So I grabbed all the dust I needed at like 80 cents a dust, and it was like, you know, under $300 for me to have enough dust to mint my Ute. But here's the thing. When I looked at the scholarship, all of the options, right? Only one of them, like they were all like, are you a community leader? Are you a graphic designer? Are you a TA guy? Do you do alpha? And bro, I don't know none of that shit. I'm from the weed world. I invented some cool weed products, right? And like, I have a following on Instagram. So I just kind of clicked VIP, like looking at it, like, oh, okay. And it says, oh, put your URLs. So I put my company, I put my Instagram, and then I clicked next, and it was like, your application was submitted. And I was like, I fucked up. I knew that was for like iced tea and for fucking basketball players and shit.
Yeah.
And I, damn. So it was the very first or second space I had ever been on. Aaron D. Gods and Frank was in there, and I stepped up and I was like, look, this is who I am. I'm fucking cool. I did this company. I have this and that. And the next day, I was accepted as on my scholarship.
Yeah.
And I never felt so I had never had such a good internet moment. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
W.
Crying or nothing, but like, I was definitely like, wow, dude, these fucking randos respect my fucking, you know, my style. And so I minted my Ute, and it never left my wallet, bro. It had migrated from Polygon to Polygon. It had migrated to ETH, and then some fucking asshole drained me, and he got my Ute, bro.
Wait,
like,
was this with the Ledger thing?
No, dude. So there's a scam going around right now that's not as popular anymore. But there was like some game called Ape Star.
I know that one. I nope. You don't even need to say anymore. I know exactly. Yeah, and tell the story for other people to hear. But I know, yeah.
So I won't say the name again because I don't want you guys to look it up. But basically, somebody with my PFP or one of my PFPs came into my space talking about, hey, this is a game that I have and that I've created with a team. And I checked them out, and they were holding they were holding an OMB. I looked them over and did the thing, and basically they
you did your
offered
research
to have me beta test their game and run as a dev or something for their not a dev but a
community mod.
A community moderator for their Discord, and they were offering me some money. So I went ahead and I was like, cool. He sent me a link. That link allowed him to screen share with me, and he was able to access my ETH and my Solana wallets and just dump everything into instant sales, or just directly to turn stuff over to himself, and then and take the money. And that wasn't even the worst part of it, right? He got me for a good amount of cash. The worst part of it was I had a running Twitter token open on my Chrome browser, and he was able to use that token, and he kicked me off of Twitter, off of my phone, and he had my Twitter and my Instagram for an hour, where he sent hundreds of DMs to people impersonating me, and basically used all of the goodwill that I had created over a year of, being in the space to get people to try to get people to click the link as well. Luckily, I realized that I was off of my Twitter, and I had done a pin over at the Verizon store.
Yeah.
So he was able to SIM swap me, but I was able to 2FA him off of my Twitter, and then tell people who were, downloading. I mean, the people were so close to downloading in like under an hour.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Trust is, yeah. It's, we like, yeah. That goes to show how much trust you built up with people.
What was that, Taco? I'm sorry.
I said that goes to show how much trust you built up with people.
Yeah. The sad part is that, like, there were people that had never interacted with me personally, who had privately, but had in just tweets and stuff,
mm-hmm.
who were quick to answer the response. And you're right, man. It showed that people appreciate me and like me and blah blah blah, right?
Yep.
But this motherfucker had gotten right to the heart of that real quick. I was like, hey, I want to play a game with you. I have a special link, P to E. We can earn some money together real quick, blah, blah, blah. And, like, they were like, oh, yeah, show me. And I had to be like, oh, this guy, that was fake. Don't download anything. I spent hours. And these guys are organized quick. And I mean quick, dude. All these DMs were handwritten. Like, they might have just said, hey, you got a second? But this guy went through every one of my contacts and was just immediately responding to anybody, and people who had responded to me or had open DMs with,
mm-hmm.
and started DMs with 100+ people who I had never spoke to, who were like, going down that, I got kicked out of every group chat because he went into my group chats and was like, hey guys, anybody want to play a game on a P2E? So it's crazy how they attack you. Right, yep. It wasn't good enough that he stole a couple $1,000s worth of assets and currency from me, but it was like this dude also went after everyone who gave a fuck about your boy Book being a weirdo on a weirdo circle on the internet. Yep. It's just so it's one of those things. I learned a lot about, again, my own hubris, but also the security layers. If I would have, it's the worst part is the if-I's, but I'll tell you, if I would have just put my U back in the ledger after migrating it from Polygon, I wouldn't have been hit for a third of as much as I got burned for. But because I was lazy about it and I just clicked them through into Ethereum, and I was like, back on the points, no big deal, didn't think twice about it.
Mm-hmm. It
was just sitting there, and that guy was able to just accept the lowest offer that Ute had immediately, And here's even the worst part. He had to send me ETH to make the transaction happen. That's how little I mess with ETH, you know? This guy had to send me $25 in ETH just to cover the gas fees to sell my shit and to steal my money. So yeah, it's.
So I don't know if you saw like the show I did last week or week and a half ago. One of the other things that's going around is play to earn games are trying to be more direct with consumers and sending emails and stuff like that. And he's been a beta tester for Illuvium. And so 100,000 emails went out to just anyone in random, you throw enough stuff at the wall, and they used a gasless Inferno wallet drainer and stole his ape because, all he had to do was click approve. He didn't have to have any ETH in his wallet or anything. And it immediately, because the back end paid the gas fee up front. It was,
it makes my stomach drop, bro.
Yeah.
There's two lessons I got out of this. The first, right, was that always, and this goes to my very first comment with you, right, is like you got your own little cabal, Because if I would have taken a screenshot or a question of this guy to my little circle, and I don't even have a good circle, right? I just have like a bunch of people that I chat with that I've been accepted into. It wouldn't have passed the sniff test because all these guys had like heard of it on some level and would have been like, no, don't do that, right? That easy. It was me. It was my own like wanting for this, and we're trained, right? We're trained to act fast. Oh, you missed your bonk. Oh, you lost $500,000, right? Like that's part of the sickness that we're like, we're trained to act fast as a group. The second thing was how quickly the bottom feeders came out. The minute I was stupid enough to post that I had been drained or I'd been hacked, a bunch of people come out and start telling you how they know this guy who can fix it, who can unhack you. And that's just another scammer who's trying to get you to like send him 0.1 ETH to like spin up a node for some dark web guys to be able to ninja your money back from this guy, and you're going to get all your money. It's just so stupid, and it's insane how and in that moment you just want it to be real, like it's again, serotonin is hitting so hard that you're like, oh yeah, man, if anybody can help me right now, I just need that. And that was the other thing, was like dude, that's the whole point of custody. That's what you're doing right here, clicking approve, right? No one can unclick that for you, right? And like, you may want it, but it's not possible. And once it's gone, it's gone. And the part of no guardrails is just that, right? If you're going to be able to move your money with at your convenience, at your scale, with at your readiness, then the same thing can happen if you're not careful, right? Like, air gaps and cold storage is the way. Unless you're active, right?
Yeah.
You got your $10 in Samo, bro. Farm that, my guy.
Oh yeah. And it's one of the things I was talking about earlier was like Wallet Guard and Join Fire. Do you use those wallet extensions?
So again, I'm not as exploratory as you, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I have the same 100 Solana that I rubbed together. In fact, I'll tell you this. Sharky was the main reason why I didn't get totally railed by this guy, because my money was in loans.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of farm the same 2 Solana every week that I can, and it's better than any yields that I get across the other one, because I've looked at everything, but then been like, you know what? I'd rather just farm 240 APY on X, Y, or Z product, and I don't really spread my money around as much as I probably should and diversify. So I'm feeling real guilty about it, but I definitely should, be on more. I don't know, like, what are you showing me here? Wallet Guard? Yeah, I definitely should be on different.
So they're not. So Wallet Guard and Join Fire, they're just extensions. They're not on Solana yet. But what they do is they simulate transactions for you. So they'll tell you what's going in and what's going out of your wallet before you approve that transaction. So, yeah. So I was just going to, that way you can look them up.
Thank you for this, man. I appreciate it.
But let's see here. So this is the Wallet Guard dashboard and stuff, and what it will tell you, from your wallet and stuff like that. It will tell you what your wallets, like what you have approvals for and stuff like that. And if you're signing a message, what that does.
You know, I'm like old school, I guess, at this point, right? I've been around for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm really paranoid about what, you know, websites or what dApps I'm connected to.
Yeah.
And I was really clean about that. You know, in my case, bro, it was super stupid of me, right? I clicked them past my own firewalls, dude.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't like, oh, you know, I had some drainer, somebody had sent something to me and I had like clicked it through, or even, you know, like a Discord drainer where someone was like, oh, hey, impersonating the founder or whatever. Like, I didn't fall for none of that, but all that's very real, and I'm definitely gonna put this layer on my wallet for sure.
Yeah, and what I was gonna try to see here. Oh, that already ended. What I was gonna do was try to find where can I go that will show something. Oh, Uniswap.
So, I guess full disclosure.
Yeah.
The machine I'm on, right, is my gaming PC, and it's basically just, you know, YouTube and games and porn, right? Everything else is on like a $500 Walmart like laptop that you know, like literally I could just toss it.
Yeah.
So, and I only connect it through. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even be as open with my OS.
Yeah.
My OPSEC.
Yeah.
I only do it through my my phone's tether.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't use my home Wi-Fi because that motherfucker could have been on my Wi-Fi, and just being extra paranoid, I will just make my plays a couple times a day, and then I turn that computer off, and I go back to what I'm talking to you on across, you know, YouTube and Twitter and everything else. Like that one, I just don't care. It's fully like, you know, there's no money on this computer,
Yeah.
which makes everything so much more difficult, bro. I mean, like, I'm over here hella jealous because I'm watching you make your trades, and like I literally have to like turn on another machine.
Yeah.
Turn my tether onto my phone. Do, you know, it's just I'm being extra paranoid, I know.
So I don't know. I don't know where you're at. I don't know who your service provider is. Don't say, but like let's say you have Xfinity or Cox or Spectrum. You can call them up and just say, hey, my Wi-Fi is like not my box is not working. The easiest thing you can actually do is just take your box with you and just go to the store and say, hey, I need to exchange this. It's just not working right, and you'll get a whole new Wi-Fi system. It will be a new password. It will be a new network name, and everything. You'll have to go reconnect all your hotspots and all your things that are connected again. But
I don't care about none of that. I appreciate that. That's good alpha, bro, for real.
So as you can see here, I hit that approved transaction, and Wallet Guard popped up. It tells me, you know, what I'm receiving. I'm receiving $14 in ETH, and I'm receiving, you know, this much Titan. And then I hit continue, and then that's when I hit that continue. That then triggers my MetaMask, which also triggers my Join Fire extension as well, which tells me what I have coming in, you know, Titan X and ETH, and then you know, tells me how much gas it is, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that with this wallet.
Yeah,
you
dude,
know,
this is good alpha, bro. I hope. Yeah, thank you. Actually, this is what I needed.
Yeah. So I tagged you in both of those platforms publicly on Twitter, you know.
I got you marked.
So yeah. But that's what like Wallet Guard and Join Fire does. So yeah. But yeah.
No, man. I mean, this is what I was talking about before. You're out here educating the masses. I just happen to be one of your masses tonight, and I appreciate what you're doing, Taco. I think you know, this is a grind that's worth being in, and that you know, just participating in the ecosystems, being chain agnostic, keeping your ear to the ground is the path. I mean, you know, what do I know? I'm just a wook on the internet. but I believe in it in a real way. I mean, I guess I'll leave you with this because I'm gonna go try to catch some Z's. But like, I knew that fucking NFTs were the thing, right? When I had to like buy my first house, and you have to pay $1,700 or $2,000 to go to this room and sit there for them to just file your fucking paperwork.
Yep.
Everything could have been done at a bar with a click if this guy, you know, after the check cleared, we don't need to be on Solana. My house doesn't need to be a Bitcoin house, right?
Yep.
Like, I've done a regular traditional transaction, and at the end of that transaction, I could have just sent this guy the proof of ownership, and it would have been over. But like, you've got to go with your real estate agent and this dude. You got to sit in this boardroom. They give you some candy and a drink and a coffee, and they charge you $1,800 to sign papers.
And you got to sign 64 of them.
Yeah, bro. It takes a fucking hour, and it's absolutely nothing. It's all done, and it's crazy. It's insane, and it's something that we, you know, when you talk about a revolutionary technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Faster, better, cheaper. That's it. All those things apply, and that's when I knew, like, I gotta learn this shit. I gotta be participating in this. I gotta, like, you know, I gotta find people of like minds who can, you know, help navigate this world. And like, you know, that's what I meant by the cabal, bro. I hope to, you know, you in the DMs and cabal with you in the future, my guy.
Definitely.
Appreciate your time, Taco.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know if you can see this, but like this is what I created with Sheep Fu. My own PFP as an inscription. So yeah.
Drop that link. I'm gonna scoop one of those. This is Solana too?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm joining the Taco fucking army.
That's my face is out there. So
yeah, no, dude, I mean, again, we talked about like what it would be like to have someone like of your caliber rocking their PFP. I mean, clearly you're taking the path of rock my PFP and join my army. And I respect that as well, bro. Like, you know, the only limiting factor of Web3 NFTs, I mean, Web3 is not a thing. It's really just a layer of tools used on the internet and Web2.
yeah.
But, like, the use of said tools, the only limiting factor is your creativity, right?
Yep.
It's how you deploy it. It's how you provide value for it. It's how you know, congregate and curate your group. I mean, it's very, very much a thing. And right now, again, the only limiting factors are your creativity as a founder, as a leader, right? So I wish you all the luck, bro. I'm gonna follow closely. I'm gonna have to you know, stay tuned and hope to participate in more of these, bro.
Hey, definitely. What I say about my show is the best, worst thing you never heard of, because it's consistently inconsistent, but daily. Look, and I think you're making this a perfect time to actually end the show as well, because we've been going for 2 hours now tonight, and this is how I end every episode. You know, so words of wisdom and final thoughts, man. What do you got?
You know, keep your feet planted and keep your ear to the ground, and you know, don't be a piece of shit, and you're likely to succeed.
Nice. I don't usually say don't be a shit. I say don't be a dick. For the kids, you never know. But yes, don't be a shit. I always end this with I've ended 482 episodes so far with the same words of wisdom and the same knock knock joke. Look, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Huge shout out to everyone on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Kick, LinkedIn, and Unlonely, and Telegram. We have Wook on stage with us tonight. Give him a follow. And we had Tree City West joining us earlier. We're going to be there on his show on Sunday for his 100th. Come find it. But our words of wisdom are always the same. A closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth, meaning if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, opportunity can never come a knocking. If opportunity does come a knocking, and no one answers, it's going to keep on walking. Huge shout out to everyone joining us. Mad love out to Liam. And we end the same way with the same knock knock joke. Come for everyone, in honor of everyone before us and everyone after us. Look, knock knock.
Who's there?